Hey guys, Thomas Sicily Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, and I'm here to review the movie Hidden. So, this movie I found to be kind of interesting, as it features a family hiding in a bunker, and that's almost the entire movie, and I say almost, fairly well. This movie uses its location really well, and it uses the tension really well. I don't know, there was something about it that I found really interesting, and I just kind of wanted to see if the family was going to make it. And in a weird way, when they sort of left and they eventually do leave the area of the bunker, I kind of got like a Fallout 3 kind of vibe almost with these dark colors and all that sort of stuff. And it was really interesting. So we have the family. We have little Zoe and her parents, and they're just trying to survive. The little girl's being like a little girl. Like she's got this toy. She sort of talks to it because she has like no one else, and like she's uh she's always sort of curious as well as to like if these things called the breathers are going to attack. And it's so weird that throughout the entire for most of the movie I wasn't even thinking about what she was saying. Like I didn't question what are the breathers. It was just I was just watching it. Like I just kind of got sucked into the movie. So it was really interesting in that sort of way. But as the movie continued, they get a rat inside that steals all their supplies or most of their supplies. So they have to ration what they have, and then uh, through even more unfortunate events, one of the lanterns that they have burns the table, and then the fire spreads, and then they have to clear it out. However, the smoke is actually lifting up into and above the little crater that they can see out of, or greater, or whatever word you want to use. It's like a square hole, but this sort of makes the girl question if they're gonna find them, and eventually they do. Now, admittedly, when you do see these sort of monsters that have sort of taken over the world, they're not that scary or anything like that. They're just like these dark creatures with white or yellow eyes. But I mean, I don't think that was the focus of the film in any way, so it kind of reminded me of this other movie, but I can't remember the title off the top of my head, where these people are on a train and there's like this whole religious thing, and the religious people are trying to kill everyone because it's the end of the world. And then at the end, like these monsters that don't look really all that good kind of come out and kill everyone, I guess. But it kind of reminded me of that. Uh, and then the monsters come in, they have to leave, and then here's where I'll put the spoiler alert at 4:10. It turns out that these humans, the three of them, aren't. They can turn into like these sort of powerful creatures or something. And the breathers were actually the government, of course, or these guys that wear the mask and stuff. Uh, and then the father dies, unfortunately, but they do find a safe area where actually the rest of the people went, or or creatures, or whatever you want to call them. But it's interesting. You got to see how they sort of got in there through these flashbacks, And that sort of reminded me of something else as well with the flashbacks. It sort of reminded me of I Am Legend in the way it sort of did the flashbacks at certain intervals of the movie, and I found that really interesting. Like, sure, didn't develop the characters too much, but it did sort of reveal how things are started falling apart. So overall, I found this movie quite enjoyable. I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a scary film, but it's sort of like you kind of want the family to survive. You kind of there's something about it. There's some sort of innocence to it that you just sort of say, yeah, I guess they can. You don't want them to die. So that's actually a really interesting part of this. So with that being said, I'm gonna score it at a 7 out of 10. I think it's worth a watch. You know, it might not be the best horror movie I've seen, but out of all the movies, in particular in 2015 that have come out, so far, this is definitely the best one, and that's saying a lot. So I would definitely check it out at least once. So with that being said, this has been Tom Zulu Jr., aka Mustache Tom, and I'll see you guys next time.